This video is a companion piece to the 2-color cabled scarf I'm submitting for the Bare Naked Wool's Red Scarf fundraiser. That pattern has not yet been named, but it will be by the time it gets published. So here we are. I've knit a fair amount of this 2-color cable, as you can see. We have some pretty long floats on the back, so we're going to cover those up. But for now, in this part of the process, just let those floats be long. And I'm going to start with the wrong side of the work and then switch over to the right side because the wrong side is a little bit more counterintuitive. So the first thing we're going to do is work some contrast color stitches. The main thing that it's important to remember is that you always want to make sure the yarn is to the wrong side of your work. So right now, since we're working on the reverse, we keep it facing us, close to us. And when we work the front of the work, a right side row, we're going to move the yarn to the back all the time. So I just worked 3 purl stitches. I'm going to leave that dangling in front. Bring the yarn around to the back because my next stitches are knits. Then bring it back to the wrong side. Work some more purls. Now we're going to have a big section that's going to create a long float. So we're going to work that. And then I'll show you how I handle the floats. I mean, I think you can see that they're just loose. I'm not picking up my floats as I go because I didn't want them to be visible on the other side of the scarf. So now I've knit this long section of the main color, and in order to get my tension correct, I'm going to spread those stitches out, and then I'm not going to pull tightly when I knit this stitch. I'm going to let that be a little bit loose. And any loose stitches or sort of bits that you don't feel like look tidy, that tends to get covered up with the cabling. So now that I'm working a main color knit stitch, I'm going to move the yarn to the back of the work my knit stitches, and then bring it back to the front to do the next bit of contrast color. Always keeping it on the wrong side of the work. Now, it's a little more obvious when you're working the front that you're going to keep the yarn on the wrong side. But I do find that when I'm really cooking along, sometimes I forget, and then I have to undo a bunch of stitches to make sure my yarn stays in the back, which is a bummer when you're trying to get something done. So I move the yarn to the wrong side of the work, pick up these stitches on my cable needle, purl the stitch that they cross over, then pick up my contrast color, work those, set that down, bring this up and move it to, actually I don't need to do that because I'm cabling this. Haha, sorry. Oops. Grab that stitch there. And then bring this yarn up. Now I have to bring it up to the front to work this purl stitch. And I have 2 more purl stitches to work. And then I just keep it at the back no matter what I'm doing. and I'm going to continue on that way. So it really is a simple combo of color work and cabling. And the steps you're used to with color work, with working your floats and keeping the floats to the back of the work, are the same as with this. You're just then crossing stitches at the same time. Now, when we're completely done with the length of our scarf, we will knit an equal length panel to attach to the back to make a nice, thick, cozy scarf and hide all of our floats.